Community Bank of Santa Maria. 7:34 coming up here in just a bit. We'll check some more news, but as part of our local news segment, it's time to talk food with our favorite grocery gal, Amy Goldsmith. Amy's helped to launch and grow some of the most well-known brands that many of us eat or at least see on the grocery shelves. She's a food industry insider and lives her life as a food finder, looking for the best new products and trends. You can follow Amy and direct message her any questions through Instagram at the Grocery Gal and TikTok at grocery.gal. Good morning, grocery.gal.
Hello, good morning.
Well, good morning. We have a very active audience when it comes to these segments, so we certainly appreciate that. We have more listeners with questions. So, Amy, are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So the first question, and this one I have to agree with, what are the healthiest nutrition bars? I mean, there's so many out there, but are there any that can help you lose weight?
We've had this question before, but a couple of times, I think, but I get it because there are just so many bars, like you said, and I call it the big wall of bars. You're just sitting there, you don't know what to do or what to select. And as you may recall, I have worked on various nutrition bar brands throughout my career, so hopefully I can help here. Nutrition bar sales are about $9.6 billion annually. And the primary reasons we eat them are, to snack and satisfy hunger, also maybe to replace junk food or to have a treat to satisfy a sweet tooth. And, the biggie is really convenience, on the go motivation. There are bars that promote weight loss, but in my opinion, unless you're following a very strict diet and, the one bar and its specific calories and fat and sugar are figured into your overall daily intake, it's not going to help you lose weight. It may even do the opposite. I mean, many of these are better for you candy bars, and sometimes a Snickers bar might even be better, depending on the label and how much sugar is in that nutrition bar. It's processed food, so if you're hungry, you want a snack, and you don't have access to fruit, sure, have a bar, but read those labels. Otherwise, I suggest staying on the perimeter of the store for snacking.
And especially maybe the one of the worst things you can do is, if you have a bar and then you're still hungry after that, is to reach and grab and grab another one and eat it.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Unless that bar is measured and fits perfectly into your meal plan, it could be a disaster.
Okay, so be careful with that. But where do you start to figure out which bar to buy?
Well, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Read the labels, I bet. Yeah.
That's right. First of all, decide why are you eating it? And then, look for the flavors that interest you. So if you're a peanut butter person or a nut and seed person, look for those first. So that'll help you narrow it down. And then based, on what your needs, goals, and your values are, then, look and see what's in it. Is there a lot of sugar? Is there a lot of salt? Is there high carbs? You need to determine, why are you having it? Why are you having it for breakfast? Is it part of a diet plan? Are you doing keto or Nutrisystem? It really depends.
All right, it sure does. Matter of fact, this is what I'm eating here, so I'm going to do this. We didn't plan to discuss this, but it's the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Soft Bake Breakfast Bars. So these are strawberry flavored. On the box, it says there's 130 calories, about 140 milligrams of sodium, and 12 grams of total sugars.
That's a lot.
Okay, so and I do those. Maybe I'll do one, but I don't do two in a sitting. So.
How much added sugar?
So if I look here, the added sugar it says 12 grams or 24%.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, so maybe this is not the best choice for me.
You can find something with less sugar.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
And probably, how much fiber is in there?
Let me double check here. I'm reading the labels. Dietary fiber, 1 gram or 5%.
Okay, throw it.
Okay, so no good.
Okay. No good.
Okay.
No, you need something with higher fiber and lower sugar. And if that's 12, did you say 12 grams of sugar is all added sugar?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Does it say added sugar? It's all in the added sugar.
Yeah, because actually it says total sugars is 12 grams, and then you've got added sugars. It looks like 12 grams.
Yeah. See. So let's say in another situation you may have, let's say it was 12 grams of sugar, but that sugar may come from real fruit, so it's not necessarily added sugar.
Okay. All right, but this I might have to find something else, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, that'll be an assignment for me. We have this is why we have the Grocery Gal Amy Goldsmith directing me on the course for better health. So, what are we watching for when it comes to those protein bars?
So, I mean, like we said right here, you want something, fiber is really important because fiber is what makes you feel full. So the more fiber you have, the less likely you're going to go and have that second bar. You want to see how much fat, how much calories, what is the fat from? Is the fat from nuts and seeds or is it from processed plant oils? If you care, it's just vegan or gluten-free, non-GMO. I mean, do you want something with a pre or probiotic? I mean, listen, the overall rule of thumb, if you're not on a special diet, is to try and stick to like a 50-30-20 blend. So that's 50% carbs, 30% fat, and 20% protein. If you're on a higher protein diet, you're going to want to flip that. So, but you just want low sugar or, ideally low or no added sugar with higher fiber and higher protein.
All right, well, there's things to watch out for. And by the way, are there any trends in bars that we can watch out for? I mean, anything maybe new that's coming up for 2021?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a continued expansion of refrigerated bars. I mean, these really appeal to health-conscious consumers who shop at the perimeter of the store. The real benefit of refrigerated bars is they're fresh and they taste really, vibrant. Also, wafer bars are heating up, adding new texture to the bar category, and also demand for real food ingredients, cleaner labels. There are also like savory bars that aren't sweet. I mean, honestly, we can go on forever, but listen, just read the labels and do what's best for you, your goals, and certainly your wallet.
All right, there we go. So that's a little bit on protein bars there. Do the best you can, but don't forget to read those labels. So, Amy, we'll move on from talking healthy to something, well, maybe that's just downright sinful. So we had a question about cookie dough. Is it dangerous to eat cookie dough? I am guilty of eating it, so I'll tell you that. Yeah.
I mean, is there anything better than raw chocolate chip cookie dough?
Oh, I don't think so.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Except that it contains raw flour and eggs that really can actually cause life-threatening diseases. I mean, flour isn't treated to kill E. coli and other germs, and that can make people sick. And raw eggs, can have salmonella. So the CDC says do not eat raw cookie dough. But there are brands now that make edible cookie dough without the raw flour and eggs. And last July, actually, Pillsbury refined its cookie dough, so the refrigerated dough is now edible and safe to eat, which is great news. But double check the label so you know it's the safe, edible cookie dough. Because they're using treated flour and pasteurized eggs now, so you can eat it and you can bake with it. Also, there's another brand called Edible Cookie Dough, and there's one called Cookie Dough Cafe. And those are only for eating, not baking. But like I said, the Pillsbury is now for eating and baking.
All right. Of course, if you are the cookie dough connoisseur, have you tried any of those brands there, Amy? Are they any good?
I have. They're okay. Listen, if eating raw cookie dough is really your thing, then these edible cookie doughs might work for you. I'm more of a take a bite or two of the dough and I'm done. So for me, the Pillsbury is more interesting. But just be careful about, eating non-pasteurized eggs in general. If your immune system is down for some reason, and maybe you don't even realize it, you eat the raw cookie dough that you made at home, this could get you sick because you don't realize your immune system isn't working 100%. So just make sure that you're eating an edible cookie dough.
All right, sounds good. Also, this is another question from me, actually, here, Amy, but my wife, Jenny, had pineapple not too long ago, and she had an allergic reaction. It's never bothered her before, so is there such thing as being allergic to pineapple?
If you don't mind sharing, what were her symptoms?
Well, what we thought was that it was actually like maybe a sinus infection, and so I think she was having some pain in her face, and I think even her jaw. So we were, kind of concerned, and she did actually speak to her doctor, and he asked her about some things that she'd been eating. She talked about pineapple, and we pretty much determined that she had an allergic reaction to that.
Yes, I mean, you can have a pineapple allergy, and you can have food allergies that show up later in life. I mean, I have a friend who's in his late 40s, and about a year ago ate a handful of cashews, like he does nearly daily.
Right.
But this time he had an immediate allergic reaction. He had to take some Benadryl, and then he got allergy tested, and sure enough, he now has a tree nut allergy. I also have a family friend who ended up with a wine allergy in his 60s, never had a
Wow.
problem before. So yes, it happens. And you may have the symptoms of a pineapple allergy immediately after being exposed to the fruit, or it can take up to several hours for your first symptoms to appear. Usually it's intense itching and hives that are usually the first symptoms. And hives also may show up in more places on your body. But many of us eat pineapple and our mouths feel weird
Yeah.
afterwards.
Hmm.
And the irritation is caused by a combination of enzymes naturally in pineapple called bromelain, which breaks down proteins and essentially attacks your tongue, cheeks, and lips on contact. So if your mouth actually hurts after eating raw pineapple, you're really not alone. It happens to virtually everyone. And bromelain, but it isn't bad for you. It actually has anti-inflammatory properties, and it actually can be used as a meat tenderizer. And some people actually take bromelain supplements
Hmm.
because of the anti-inflammatory properties. So that necessarily isn't bad for you, but absolutely you can have allergies and not even realize it till just one day.
Yeah, no kidding. Like we had recently there. So, because I think we were using pineapple because sometimes people will like put it on a ham or something like that. And I think that's what we were doing. I mean, she wasn't like, just eating the pineapple. It was on some other food. And there was the reaction after that. So that was kind of weird.
You may also want to check and see what that seasoning was if it was on top of a ham.
Yeah.
And there may have been somebody with MSG
Mm.
that causes severe headache. And if it's a processed ham, there might have been monosodium glutamate in there.
Oh, okay. So a couple things might be happening there. Well, anyway, some good information today. You can follow Amy in direct message or any questions through Instagram at The Grocery Gal and TikTok at grocery.gal. Amy, a great conversation today. We'll look forward to doing it hopefully next week with you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Don't forget birthdays and anniversary wishes. 928-1440 is my number. 928-1440.
Experience and professional excellence when you call Executive Janitorial. Locally owned and operated for over 20 years, and they think green.
What? What are you talking about? They think green?
Executive Janitorial knows you don't need harsh, non-eco-friendly products to get your facility clean. They use safe products and procedures that minimize pollutants while improving air quality. When you clean for health, you have healthier